In this video, I'm going to explain to you why exactly I wouldn't recommend a Banana Pi in regards to having a microcomputer. I'm going to identify some of the issues with hardware. I'm going to just compare it simply with a Raspberry Pi 1. I've got Raspberry Pi 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s. So I'd say I know them quite well. So why would I say a Raspberry Pi in general is better than a Banana Pi? Well, for a range of reasons. For one, the support behind Banana Pi is almost non-existent. The founder seems to be some Chinese guy called, I think his name's Steven Zhao. Now, whether it's his proper name or it's a fake name, because I know a lot of Chinese people like using fake names when dealing with English people or English speaking people. But either way, that seems to be the guy behind it. So it seems to be either a one person team or maybe he's got a friend that helps him behind the side. But whatever you want to call it, it's not well maintained. When I looked on their website itself for their operating systems haven't been maintained, from what I've seen, from around 2 to 3 years. So that tells us as a whole it's not being maintained. It's not working well. Now, I tried in total for this one here, my Banana Pi 5 Pro, I tried in total 5 different operations. None of them work. None of them work. I tried a Yubato one, I tried a Pop one, I tried a Android version of Yubato from their own site, didn't work. I tried the Android straight Linux one, it didn't work either. None of the operating systems work. I also tried in three different SDs to see if I'd make a difference. I tried two Kingsoft, didn't work. I tried a ScanDisk, it didn't work either. None of it worked. Now, if you're going to say, oh, it's probably your SD card, again, it worked in the Raspberry Pi without issues. It worked on my laptops without issues, both my Windows and my Linux computers. So it's clearly a fault with this thing. Another thing, which is quite a big problem with this sort of thing, is it's quite a bit bigger than the Raspberry Pi. Because it's quite a bit bigger, in a lot of cases you'll find that means it won't fit in any Raspberry cases. For example, this one. This one itself would easy as hell fit a Raspberry Pi. But because the Raspberry Pi is about 2 inches smaller approximately, that means it won't fit. And another thing I don't really like about it is you've got all these sort of things here, great for your monitors. But again, this is something I've always found really weird with this sort of system or these sort of computers in general is how many people do you actually know who actually use 2 different monitor cables or are going to attach 2 different monitors to watch the same system? I don't know anyone. I mean, if you are that guy or that girl, then cool, but I don't know anyone, so I just kind of find it kind of stupid. You only need one, or two at most. You don't need one for inputs and two for outputs. One's good enough. That's all you need, one that works. And that is, again, another thing with it. And also, as well, with regard to the button, okay, it's got a button you can reset, but if it's not going to work, do we need a reset button? And, I mean, it looks nice. I'll give it, it looks good. But it's just pretty crap. I mean, for a 16 gigabyte thing, I mean, you'd expect to be much better than this basic piece of crap. And also, as well, we're getting back to the support side regarding to Steven, if that's his name or not, I don't know. His support was utterly shite. I mean, even for a one-person team, I mean, I've done one-person business, one-person jobs. I mean, I would never give such terrible service. And when we got in a conversation, which I thought was quite bizarre and quite weird, and he was really telling me that according to him, no one is actually allowed to sell his products on eBay. Okay, great. If no one is allowed to sell your products on eBay according to you, then why exactly are you allowing people to sell it? I mean, if this is your business and you're a so-called serious businessman, shouldn't you be stopping it? I mean, couldn't you send an email to eBay or phone them and request not to happen? But he just seems to be blunt, just do nothing. And that's why I wouldn't recommend it, is the SD cards don't work in it. I tried in total 3, none of them work. No, sorry, actually I tried 4. I tried in total 5 different operators, none of them work. I tried both the ones from him, didn't work. I tried Mint, didn't work. I tried the Raspberry Pi system, it didn't work. I tried the Pop, it didn't work. I tried another one I found randomly online. I tried Diet Pi, again, it didn't work. And if you're going to be having a computer, should it not at least work if you're going to be selling it? Maybe it's just me, but that's kind of a point of a computer. And another thing as well is a wee bit annoying with it as well is because everything's designed for Raspberry Pi and you have no community behind this, you haven't got any way to get much things to work. Because one of the things I was going to try quite soon, which I think would be quite fun, is I'm going to be trying out one called a BeagleBoard. And one thing I would credit BeagleBoard on, at least they have a community, at least they have a forum, at least there are people you can ask for help. But compared to this, you've got no one to ask for help. Who's going to help you? Nobody. And that's why I would recommend the Banana Pi. I mean, if it worked, then hey, cool, great, good stuff. But for me, nothing worked. The box I got was very, very ugly looking, in the sense it looked like it'd been sat in a warehouse for a few years, because the box itself was already losing the colours, and that was something just bought. It wasn't a case that, it's I bought it like 6 months ago or a year ago. It was just bought and it's already like that. Also, as well, the stuff itself just seems to be what I consider just sort of, right, a copy of the Raspberry Pi, but like a worse version of it. That's the way it came across to me. And also, as well, with regard to the size of it, because the size is bigger, that means if you're going to be having it, you have to have a much bigger case. If you have a much bigger case to work it, then it's not a good service. It's not a good product. If everyone is already using a case or case size for another product which you copied over, should it not make sense to have the same cases fit both? I mean, or if you really want to have cases that are bigger, should you not make it more easy to get these things? Because when I look into Raspberry Pi, I can get products in seconds. When I look into Banana Pi, I mean, you have most sites that don't even sell their stuff. Or the last time we sold it was like 1 or 2 years ago. So it seems to be, to me, basically a company which is either, or organization by one guy, maybe his name's Steven, I don't know. But I mean, even if you look into his website, he doesn't have an SSL certificate. I mean, I could understand if it's like 4 or 5 years ago, I could say, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But when you haven't got an SSL, when you get them for free in seconds, it just comes across quite spammy. And that's why I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, it looked cool, but stick to the Raspberry Pi. If you want to try something new, then go with BeagleBoard. Could be fun for you. I was going to get with myself. But for Banana Pi, they're shite. Wouldn't recommend it. Anyway, that's all. Thanks. Bye. And consider adopting two ferrets. Thanks. Bye.